As promised, we're heading back out to a Government Plaza where we can check in with Local 15's Darwin Singleton with more on what's happening in a courtroom regarding Trayon Washington and Pat Brown. They're accused in the murder of Wendy Fisher. Darwin, what can you tell us this new?
Here's the latest. We had something happen a little while ago just as the jurors were getting ready to go to lunch. In fact, most of them had left, and down the hall we had an outburst from what we now understand was the brother of one of the defendants in this case. The courtroom had to be cleared of a lot of people because the jurors had to come in for jury selection. That takes a lot of room. A lot of times people are asked to leave. Apparently that was the case in this situation, and it led to an emotional outburst by the brother of one of the two defendants. We don't know which one. We saw it happening behind us just a little while ago. But now let's bring you up to date on this case. And this case is one that some of you will remember where two men were arrested and charged with firing a fatal shot of a woman who was upset that someone was driving around her street or down her neighborhood, Racine Avenue to be exact, and they were driving too fast. That was Wendy Fisher that you mentioned just a few moments ago. Most of the morning was spent haggling over evidence. They got that ironed out. Then jury selection began. Most likely this will take most of the day. What the prosecution is trying to show that July 7th of 2012, defendants Washington and Brown were in a car on Racine Avenue when Wendy Fisher yelled at that car for traveling too fast. It led to a confrontation. Prosecutors saying Washington fired the fatal shot, that Brown was driving, so he's an accessory to murder. We talked with the attorneys, the defense attorneys, and asked them what they planned to prove. And here's what Art Powell, Trayon Washington's attorney, had to say.
That Trayon Washington didn't shoot anybody. That's what I hope to prove.
I know that you all are talking about identity. There seems to be a little bit of confusion, some debate over evidence. Do you feel there's no clear-cut way to identify who pulled the trigger?
That's exactly what we believe.
Now, there will be a lot of witnesses in this case. We have some video of one particular witness. He is a witness for the prosecution. He is Corporal Donald Pears from the police department. He helped investigate this case. He, too, right now is on leave from the police department under an investigation of his own, tax evasion. And so that may be brought up or may not be. His credibility, the defense right now hasn't said one way or the other, but it adds just another bit of interest to this case. We'll have much more later on today. For now, live at Government Plaza, Darwin Singleton, Local 15 News.